All right. What is going on, everyone? Happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having a great day. Recording this on a Thursday. It is beautiful outside. So I'm so excited to get outside and get some sunshine in today. But it's been a while, been a couple of weeks since I've been live on here. So I wanted to come on here and just talk about something that I think is going to connect to your fitness journey, your fat loss journey, your weight loss journey, whatever it is that you're pursuing, your health journey that I think is really relevant. So this conversation, this whole thought, came to me because, quite frankly, yesterday I hit a pretty big milestone within my business. And this was a milestone that I'd been kind of thinking about for a while, probably the past year or so. And this, just to be honest, is a financial milestone. And not that my financial milestones within business and my coaching is necessarily a huge deal to me, because I do what I do with coaching because I want to serve you all. I want to serve people and help you all to be in the best shape possible, feel as most confident as you can, be the happiest versions of yourself, because I know what it's like to not feel comfortable in my own skin. I know what it's like to not feel confident in myself. I've obviously seen the negative health effects of not taking care of yourself with both of my parents who have now passed away, if you're familiar with my story. So I don't do this for the financial gain, right? Obviously, have to make a living and support my family and everything, but that's not why I do this. But this financial milestone was something that I've thought about, and just thought, man, because I came from a household where we really didn't have a lot of money. And I don't want to get into the backstory of this. That's not what this podcast or video message is really about. But, there were many instances where I could hear my parents arguing about money and being stressed about it. Instances where I think, believe at least 1 year, and I was a young kid, so I don't remember fully, but 1 year, I believe we had to get Christmas presents donated to us from some church organization, I believe it was, because my parents just couldn't really afford to buy us much. And there were multiple years through Christmas where, I just remember not really having much under the tree, compared to other kids I saw at school and knew what they were getting and this and that. But that's beside the point. But coming from a place where finances were always really tight, and growing up with just kind of the message in my head of, reaching certain financial milestones is something that is just not in the cards for me. This financial milestone was kind of a big deal for me to hit, and something I was proud of, just that my business, something that I took the leap and created coming out of grad school and becoming a dietitian, of just the fact that I could hit this in the lifespan of my business in this amount of time was a big deal. And like I said, something that that I'm proud of, right? Because it also signifies all the people that we have been able and I've been able to help over the years too, which is the most important part. But this was this milestone that I was kind of looking forward to. Should actually hit it this month, as far as hitting this milestone from the full life of my business so far. And I was just running through some numbers, just kind of doing some things yesterday, and I realized I actually already hit this milestone, and I hit it at the very beginning of this month. And this was something that I thought I was going to hit within this week, and I hit in the beginning of this month. And I sat there and looked at this number. And I can't tell you how many times over the past 6 months, the past year, I've thought about what would be cool, to do this, within the lifetime of my business. Then I sat there looking at this number yesterday, and I can't tell you how, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say empty, but what's the word I'm trying to think of? Anticlimactic it was to see, oh, I already hit this number, and it's already done. Now what? And it really just made me feel very just, I don't know. It was it was a big gut punch, or a wake up call of how it's not about the final destination you hit, right? Because this was this thing that I was not obsessing over, but I thought it was going to feel like a big deal when I got there, and I did. And like I said, I realized I'd actually hit it, weeks ago. And now the fact that I've already hit it, I'm okay, that didn't make me really feel fulfilled, and that didn't really cause any huge positive emotions. Yeah, I was prideful for, I don't know, maybe an hour once I realized it had been done. But then after that, I'm okay, now what? like now I'm just going to move along with my day and continue to serve my clients and continue to do what I do and hopefully impact people in a positive way and continue to be the best dad, the best husband I can be, the best friend I can be. And just now life goes on. And it really made me think about our fitness journeys and our weight loss journeys and our fat loss journeys and how so many of our clients, they have this like ideal like body or this ideal body weight that they want to reach in their head. And they obsess over this number of like getting under 200 pounds on the scale or getting to this number or that number or whatever it may be. And they obsess over this milestone that they want to hit. And I think it's really good to have those milestones that you look forward to hitting and to kind of chase because it provides you some kind of like landmark to go after, right? But it can't be your ultimate driving force or factor with you making these changes in your life for your health. Because if it is, if the only thing you care about is that one number on that scale or that random destination that you have in your head, what's going to happen once you hit it? Once you hit it, then you're going to feel this like emptiness almost because like it's been achieved, it's done. And unless you can either just continue to shift the goalpost of, okay, now I want to hit this next milestone, later, this next milestone later, where are you going to go then? Because if you aren't able to shift that goalpost, then you're going to experience this feeling of, man, like, now what do I do? And that's where I think people revert back to these old habits and behaviors they had before they lost the weight, and why so many people struggle to keep the weight off once they've lost it is because they have this big milestone in their head. They think it's going to be this big thing, and now their life is going to be completely changed once they reach under 200 pounds or under this weight. And they do, and they realized, okay, like there's not this huge celebration, and like life isn't just automatically easy now just because I reached this destination. Now, what do I do? And this just leads to the importance of embracing the journey and learning to love just the actual process that you experience on a day-to-day basis and experience those small wins, and not small wins in terms of the result of your actions, but the small wins in terms of how those actions just in the moment make you feel physically and mentally. And this is relating to, your fitness journey specifically. Like, if you want to lose weight, let's say you want to lose 30 pounds, and that's like the big milestone you have in your head. But what do you have to do to get to that 30-pound weight loss? You have to be consistent with going for your walks or hitting your step goal. You have to be consistent with hitting your calorie range. You have to be consistent with likely including fruits and vegetables in your meals, eating your protein, eating mostly whole foods, this and that, right? There are all these health steps, getting your workouts in, health habits that have to stack up in order for you to get there. And if you only place your worth or your excitement or your joy in that end milestone and not in those actually daily processes that you have to take, you're going to feel lost when you reach that destination. And luckily for me, in this, example I'm giving with this milestone with my business, I don't find fulfillment in hitting a certain financial number. Like, sure, it can feel cool, and I know it can feel like I can be prideful in the moment because it's not what I came from growing up as a family. But like for me, I coach because I get extreme fulfillment in the daily process of showing up for my clients, showing up for you all, doing these podcasts, doing these lives to hopefully help people. And also when I receive messages from all of you clients, all of you people on the changes you've made, the weight you've lost, how much more confident you feel, how your life has changed in all these positive ways, that's what really fulfills me. I get fulfillment in the daily process. I get fulfillment in the small, tiny, little moments that happen day after day, multiple times a day, week after week. That's what fulfills me. And you have to learn to feel fulfilled with going on those walks and really slowing down and mentally like thinking about what you're doing in the moment. I'm going on this walk. The weather's nice. The sun is out. I can hear the birds chirping. It feels peaceful. I can feel the sun's like rays on my face. And also learn to slow down and appreciate the gratefulness or the thankfulness like you should have for just being able to simply do that. And this is something that I was talking to myself this morning, or I guess maybe could even say just like praying about of just how thankful I am that I am able to like do what I do, that I like, think about this specific example is that I could get in a car accident in any day. And that could obviously like one, take my life in any day. But also in this specific example, it could physically cause me to sustain some kind of really bad injury to where I'm not able to do powerlifting anymore. Or I'm not able to lift weights or work out at all. I'm not able to move my body, or I'm not able to play with my kids anymore. So really take the time to slow down and appreciate these things that we take for granted every single day. And that will help you to embrace and enjoy the actual journey as well, because now that isn't just something that you're checking off on your box, or getting those steps in isn't something that you're just checking off the box for to lose the weight, to reach this destination. It's something that you're actually enjoying and feeling grateful for in the moment. Other examples too, like when you eat a quote unquote nutritious meal, or a meal that fits within the calorie and protein guidelines aim for, has fruits and vegetables in it, mostly whole foods, and you maybe skip out on going through the Wendy's drive-through. Like, really think about when you were eating that food and afterwards, how good that makes you feel physically and mentally. Physically, knowing, hey, my digestion is feeling fine. It's feeling good. I'm not feeling super bloated from having all this greasy food. And then also physically, reflecting on, man, I feel like I have so much more energy. Like, I could go for an actual like walk or a hike, or I could go and do jumping jacks, or run around in the backyard with my kids right now, because I didn't eat something that was going to make me feel so sluggish. Think about mentally, psychologically, how good it feels to choose that healthy meal versus something that's really high calorie and processed, because that small decision you made is going to lead to you living a longer and healthier life to be around for your family, for your kids, for your friends, whoever it is, your loved ones, and knowing, hey, because I chose this meal now, and because I'm going to continue to choose these types of meals majority of the time, more often than not, I'm going to be able to have an extra 10 years of my life, maybe, on this earth, or I'm going to have an extra 10 years of my life being able to actually move around and do things, travel if I want to when I get older and retire, whatever it may be. Like, really take the time to slow down and think about that. And when you really think about like how to cherish and romanticize almost every small moment in the journey, and really enjoy it in those ways, physically and mentally, then these habits become something that you like chase and you want to choose, because it makes you feel good along the way, not just when you reach this end destination. And with this example, that is exactly how I feel when I wake up every morning and I'm able to, open up my messenger and talk with all of my clients, see all these messages from clients who are crushing it, who are seeing new lows on the scale, their clothes are fitting better, they're getting blood work back, and it's all improved from 6 months ago, whatever it may be. And it's also the feeling I get when I open up messages and maybe there is a client that's struggling, because we all have periods when we're struggling, right? I know I talk a lot about and share wins from clients, but like, clients all struggle at some point, right? Everyone's human. I struggle with things at some point. And I get this feeling of fulfillment and cherish these moments even when a client is struggling, and I'm able to be there for them, and I'm able to talk them through, or we're able to find out a different solution and then they overcome that. That actually fulfills me even more than when a client's like perfect from the get-go. When a client is struggling and I'm able to help them and get through that and they have a breakthrough, that's what really fulfills me even more. But it's about taking or finding enjoyment and really searching and seeking it out in all of these small, tiny moments that add up in the middle of the day that lead to, that end destination or milestone you want to be in. It's not about the end destination, at all. Like, in the end, it's about those small moments that lead to it. And this is something you have to be intentional about. Like, you have to be intentional about reflecting on these things and intentional about noticing them, because it's so easy to get distracted with everything you have going on in life, with kids, sporting events, work, your relationships. And then especially with social media, we're always so glued to our phones, scrolling. You have any free moment and you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, whatever it may be, and all these messages pop up. It's really easy to just simply live in a life that's not even yours mentally, to be honest, and distract yourself from these things. But you have to be intentional about forcing your mind and your brain to slow down so you can appreciate these small decisions that you are making in the moment and how they make you feel physically and mentally. Because when you get into that loop where all of these decisions that you want to make, that you should be making, become things that you like gravitate towards instead of things that you're forcing yourself towards, then that's where the real magic happens. And that's where the possibilities are endless after a long enough period of time of continuing to just do this over and over and over for multiple months and multiple years. So I just wanted to share this because it was a very big eye-opening experience for me. And I think it almost like was fitting that it was something that I was looking forward to so much and thought this big emotional moment was going to come over me. And then actually like crunched some numbers and realized I actually hit it sooner than I even realized it. And now I'm like, okay, that didn't fulfill me. What actually fulfills me isn't, the specific number or reaching this milestone. What actually fulfills me is just making a difference in everybody's lives or as many people's lives as I can on a daily basis, moment by moment. So hopefully, you take something away from this. Hopefully, this gave you some words of wisdom. Appreciate you all, and I will see you guys in the next one.